What's going on, everybody? Just to take a quick little video to talk about, yes, the Nintendo Direct launch that was put out yesterday. Everyone's been talking about it. The biggest news with the time frame for the Nintendo Switch 2 to come out, and what is officially launching with the Nintendo Switch 2. Um, Now, from what I have seen and from what I have experienced with the launch of the Nintendo, or the soon-to-be launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, is that they completely changed what the console is going to look like. It actually more so reminds me of the Steam Deck versus the original Switch. The Joy Cons you pull out via a magnet versus sliding down and up. So that's a little bit more convenient, because the sliding factor, that can get a little tedious sometimes. The updated features, such as they even put in a new button, a C button, to implicate game chat. That's a whole revolutionary concept for the Switch, because it kind of implicates a little bit of Discord with gaming, which is awesome. And the Switch really is trying to catch up to the newer consoles, such as PlayStation. PlayStation, you can actually access Discord straight from the PlayStation. It's not an app you can download, but you connect it via your Discord account on like your computer, or even your Xbox or whatever. So they will also have the Joy-Con have a feature where you can use it as a mouse, which that should be a little interesting. I don't know necessarily what you're going to utilize that for, but hey, it's all relatively new, and this should be interesting to see. The price, though, the price is the thing that everyone has been talking about. Now, the price of the Nintendo Switch, just the regular Nintendo Switch, is about $250, $300, which has been the going rate for several years. The Nintendo Switch OLED is $350, which is the one I have, and I enjoy it. I love it. It's got updated graphics, updated screen, a much bigger screen, and it's got bigger memory. Well, at least in comparison of the original Switch, and the kickstand on the back is a little bit more sturdier. But with the Nintendo Switch 2, there's going to be no OLED, so there's no OLED screen, but it'll be 1080. I think they said it'll be like 1080p, and then for docking, it's gonna have like 120 FPS. You're talking about that's relatively really good. The hard drives on it are going to be bigger, so I think they're starting out with like 256 gigabyte hard drive, and oh no, was it 256 gig? I believe so. Some of them, like, you can add in extra SD cards, but they have to be specific SD cards. But the price, let's talk the price. $450 just for the Switch 2 and the dock, and just the regular stuff that it comes with. If you want the bundle for Mario Kart World as well as the Switch 2, $500. Which you're thinking, that's the cost of a PS5 disc edition. $500. I don't think Nintendo really thought that one through. Now, social media is calling out for the price to drop, which Nintendo has notoriously done in the past for specific consoles. They did that for the Nintendo 3DS, which they started that out at $250, and they dropped it a near 50%, or at least 30%, I believe. And it worked. Do they think the sales are going to be up, or do they think they're going to be down? since this is the only console coming out at the moment, because Xbox is officially gone with the console war. They're no longer part of the console war. They're strictly aiming towards PCs and cloud streaming and cloud gaming. And PlayStation is currently working on, more than likely working on a PS6 or a new PlayStation Portable, which would be really cool to have a new PSP. But I don't think that would happen. But the PlayStation console, like, they usually wait about a solid 6, 7, 8 years before launching a new console. They launched the PS4 in 2013, and then they launched the PS5 in 2021. So 8 years, and it's currently 2025. So it's been 4.5 years. It'll be 3.5 years. So it'll be 4 years in November. Was it November or September? Either one of those months. I have to remember. I didn't pre-order because obviously no one got a chance to pre-order back when they first launched. But I did get invited via PlayStation, the PlayStation Direct. They actually they sent me an invitation to order. So that's when I ordered my first one, and then I found this one that I currently have. But beside the point. So the Switch 2, is it going to be worth it? For the game aspect, there are going to be some new titles. Let's get into these new titles. One that I'm really excited for is the new Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm excited because I grew up playing Donkey Kong 64, Donkey Kong Country, as well as Diddy Kong Country. I grew up playing those games, so that to me is like, it's gonna be awesome. The new Mario Kart World, I'm gonna have to give it a try because I'm old school. I prefer Mario Kart Double Dash. That was my favorite Mario Kart game of all time, and the one that's been on the Switch, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that one has been fantastic. I actually just started replaying and getting back to kind of playing some Mario Kart. I played some earlier today. But with Mario Kart World, you can now free roam. So it's never been done in a Mario Kart before, where you can actually go off road and off the track and free roam. I think that they're kind of opening it up to where you can probably cut through, maybe try finding an alternate route. You can also free roam with your friends. You can play as different characters now. There's like a cow. That, to me, I don't understand, but hey, like I said, I'm very old school when it comes down to it, so that's all right. And $80 though, $80 for a Mario Kart game seems a little much. So if they could tweak the price, maybe 70. I mean, I could totally see 70 because that's how much PS5 games cost, is $70. You know, I paid $70 for NCAA football 25. I paid $70 for I paid $60 for God of War Ragnarok, but that's because I bought it later, like a couple years after it launched. But still, it just boggles my mind that the price ranges for all this stuff is much higher for a Switch. Now, I could totally understand if they were coming up with like a brand new like center console, like a 64 style console. Though Nintendo has been notorious for not being not coming out with like the big consoles. They're usually like the GameCube, which the GameCube was revolutionary. It was so versatile. It was easy to carry because it had a handle. It was a cube. The discs were little tiny discs. The GameCube was probably their best made system. The Switch has been their best handheld / TV console because it's sold a lot of units. The most nostalgic is the 64, and the most original is the Super Nintendo. But the aspect of those consoles is so outdated, unfortunately. So, what do we get from all this? Is the Switch 2 going to be worth it at launch? For some of you, yes, because maybe some of you, you're kind of tired of the Switch and you're ready for an upgrade. Okay, that's great. But make sure to keep your old Switch, just in case. Don't trade in. Don't sell your current Switch. Keep it. But I would urge people to kind of hopefully see a price drop to where it instead of it being $450 for the console, it can be like $350. I'd even say $375. Probably $350, because the OLED is $350, and actually, if you put the Switch 2 at $350, the OLED at $300, and the original Switch down to like $200, you will be fine. I think maybe that's what they need to do. Instead of having the OG Switch be at like $300 and having the current OLED at $350 and this new one at $450, come on, Nintendo, I'm sorry. I love you guys, but you're not Sony. Sony and Xbox get away with charging an immense amount of money for their consoles because their consoles have something else to offer. Like take Sony and take exactly what they did with the PS5. They made it to where PS4 titles can officially be played on the PS5. That is why so many people have enjoyed the PS5, because you can play PS4 titles. You may not be able to play PS2, PlayStation, even PS3 titles on, or like discs on the PlayStation 5, but they have a wide range of digital downloads that you can buy, like remastered versions, plus PS4 titles. If you still have a bunch of PS4 discs, you can play them on the PS5 and be completely fine. It's the digital downloads for the PS4 that I don't think you can play on the PS5. I think it has to specifically be like discs. So like, I play regular God of War on my PS5. It's a PS4 disc. They didn't make God of War 4 2018. They didn't make that for PS5. They made it for PS4, obviously. But you're able to play that on the PS5. So if the Switch 2 really wants to sell a lot of copies, they're going to need to do exactly what Sony did, as well as Xbox. I mean, look at what Microsoft's been doing for years. They've had the Game Pass, or offer an incentive. Game Pass is probably the most universal tools that has ever hit the market for gaming, especially for those who are PC gamers or Xbox gamers. And since Xbox is no longer wanting to be in the console war, they're going to new heights. They're going to they infiltrated Sony. They infiltrated fucking PlayStation. You can now get Xbox games officially on the PlayStation now. That is mind-boggling. But I love Nintendo. You'll always have my heart. You were my favorite console company. I played the 64 and the GameCube so much. And ever since getting a Switch, which, by the way, I have... Oh. Whoops. I have literally right here, I have my Switch OLED, which I've been trying to play a little bit more lately. I honestly have not had a whole lot of time, but some of the free time I've had, I've been playing it. But yes, so Nintendo, take a little bit of that and run with it. I honestly think that you will do just fine. But lower the price. $450 is too much. for a handheld console. And that's what we're going to call it. It's not just a handheld gaming, it's a handheld console, because you can dock it and it acts as if it's a real, like an actual, like full-fledged console. I mean, shoot, even take the Meta Quest. Meta went from the Quest 2 to the Quest 3S, and they innovated the 3S. My 3S right here, innovative. Mixed reality with regular virtual reality for a price tag of, I think I paid $300 at launch, because I pre-ordered it. $300 when my girl spent, I think, like $250 for the Quest 2 a couple years ago. I mean, $300 is actually a really good price to pay for the MetaQuest, in my opinion, especially a more updated, modern, mixed reality and virtual reality. I think that, but just take some notes, Nintendo. I love you guys, but take some notes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining in on my little bit of a rant, mainly because I wanted to talk a little bit about the Nintendo Direct and everything that everyone's been talking about, and I hope that it kind of helps you understand why it's like a little weird that Nintendo all of a sudden just like would try this again. I guarantee you the Switch 2 will be a success. It'll be a great successor to the Switch. Also, don't take away the cartridges, please. Stop doing digital downloads for that. Like, don't do it all digital. Anyway, see you later, guys.